The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. As the night closes, let your mind be a sanctuary of wisdom and virtue. Marcus Aurelius. As the sun dips below the horizon and the world begins to quiet, a true practitioner of Stoicism knows that the day is far from over. The evening is not just a time for rest, but for reflection, recalibration, and renewal. In these quiet hours, we find the space to turn inward, to cultivate the virtues that define our character, and to prepare ourselves for the challenges of the day to come. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, once wrote in his Meditations, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." As the night envelops us, it's time to dye our souls with the thoughts that will lead us toward greater wisdom, resilience, and peace. Join us as we explore 7 powerful Stoic practices that you should incorporate into your nightly routine. These practices will not only deepen your understanding of Stoicism, but will also help you build a life of purpose, self-control, and unshakable resolve. 1. Review the day's actions. As the night falls, the first step of a Stoic evening is to reflect on the day that has passed. This practice, known as Epistrophē, is a mental exercise in which you review your actions, words, and thoughts from the day. It is a process of self-examination that is crucial to the Stoic pursuit of virtue. Illustration. Picture a philosopher sitting alone in a dimly lit room, the silence only broken by the crackling of a dying fire. As he gazes into the flames, he asks himself, "What did I do today? Where did I succeed? Where did I fall short?" His mind is a ledger, carefully noting each action, each word, and each thought, not with judgment, but with a desire to learn and grow. The purpose. This is not an exercise in self-recrimination, but in self-improvement. By honestly assessing your day, you gain insight into your strengths and weaknesses. You identify the areas where you maintained your Stoic principles and those where you faltered. This reflection is the foundation upon which personal growth is built. The strategy. Begin by acknowledging your successes, no matter how small. Recognize where you acted with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are the moments where you embodied the Stoic virtues, and they deserve recognition. Then, turn to your shortcomings. Where did you allow anger, fear, or desire to cloud your judgment? Where did you let external events dictate your mood? Scenario. Perhaps during the day, you found yourself in a heated argument with a colleague. Instead of maintaining your composure, you let anger take control. Now, as you reflect, you understand that the true battle was within and that you lost. But this realization is not a defeat, it's a lesson. Tomorrow, you will approach similar situations with greater self-control. Further insight. This practice is akin to a craftsman sharpening his tools. Each night, you hone your mind and spirit, refining your character so that you can face the challenges of the next day with greater clarity and strength. It's a practice that keeps you on the path of progress, ensuring that each day brings you closer to the ideal of the Stoic sage. Quote, as Seneca reminds us, "The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable." By reviewing our day, we can free ourselves from the anxieties of tomorrow by learning from today. This nightly reflection is our shield against the chaos of life, a practice that grounds us in wisdom and prepares us for whatever the future may hold. 2. Practice negative visualization. The next step in your evening routine is to engage in Proōratikē, or negative visualization. This practice involves imagining the worst-case scenarios that could happen tomorrow, not to dwell on them, but to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. It is a core Stoic exercise that builds resilience and fortitude. Illustration. Imagine a Stoic standing on the edge of a cliff, looking out over a vast, stormy sea. He contemplates the dangers that lie ahead, but he does so with a calm and steady heart. He knows that the waves may rise, the winds may howl, and the path may be treacherous, but he is ready for whatever may come. The purpose. The aim of negative visualization is not to induce fear, but to build resilience. By visualizing potential obstacles, you arm yourself with the mental fortitude to face whatever comes your way. You remind yourself that the only things within your control are your own thoughts and actions. This practice helps you detach from the outcomes, focusing instead on your response to whatever life may bring. The strategy: before you sleep, close your eyes and imagine the challenges that tomorrow may bring. Visualize losing something you hold dear, encountering a difficult situation, or facing a setback. How will you respond? How will you maintain your Stoic principles in the face of adversity? Scenario: imagine you wake up tomorrow to find that an important project has failed. The effort you put in seems wasted, and disappointment looms. But by practicing negative visualization, you've already prepared yourself for this possibility. You accept it with equanimity and move forward with renewed determination. Further insight: negative visualization is not about pessimism, it's about realism. By contemplating the potential difficulties ahead, you strip them of their power to surprise or overwhelm you. This practice also serves as a reminder of the impermanence of all things. When we prepare for loss, we are better able to appreciate what we have, knowing that it could be taken away at any moment. Quote, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive." Seneca. Fear not the uncertainties of tomorrow. Instead, prepare for them, and you will act with the confidence of one who is ready for anything. This practice of preparing for the worst allows you to live fully in the present, unburdened by the fear of what might come. 3. Cultivate gratitude. After preparing your mind for potential challenges, turn your thoughts to what you are grateful for. In Stoicism, gratitude, or Charis, is a key virtue that helps us maintain a balanced perspective on life. It is the practice of recognizing the good in your life and appreciating it, no matter how small. Illustration: picture a philosopher in his simple home, surrounded by the modest possessions that sustain him. He does not long for more. Instead, he gives thanks for what he has. His heart is light, unburdened by desire, for he knows that contentment is found not in abundance, but in appreciating what you have. The purpose: gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. It reminds us that we already possess everything we need to be content. This practice cultivates an attitude of abundance, even in the simplest of lives. It is a powerful antidote to the constant craving for more that plagues so many. The strategy: as you lie in bed, reflect on the things you are grateful for. They could be material possessions, relationships, experiences, or even your own virtues. Recognize that these are gifts, not entitlements. Gratitude is a practice that grounds you in the present moment, helping you to see that despite any challenges, you have much to be thankful for. Scenario: perhaps today you shared a meaningful conversation with a friend, or you enjoyed a quiet moment of solitude. These are the moments to be grateful for. Gratitude allows you to appreciate the present and avoid the endless pursuit of more. Further insight: in a world that constantly pushes us to achieve more, acquire more, and be more, gratitude is a revolutionary act. It is a declaration that what we have is enough, that we are enough. By practicing gratitude, you align yourself with the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature, content with what life has provided. Quote, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Epictetus. Let us rejoice in what we have, for it is more than enough. In this gratitude, we find peace, for we see that true wealth is not in possessions, but in contentment. 4. Meditate on mortality. The fourth practice is one that may seem dark to some, but it is essential for a Stoic: the meditation on mortality, or Meletē Thanatou. This is the nightly reminder that life is fleeting and that we must make the most of every moment. It is a practice that brings clarity and focus, sharpening our awareness of what truly matters. Illustration: envision a Stoic sitting in a quiet room, a single candle burning before him. He watches the flame flicker, knowing that it will eventually go out, just as his own life will one day come to an end. This knowledge does not bring fear, but a deep appreciation for the time he has. The purpose: meditating on mortality is not about dwelling on death, but about appreciating life. When we remind ourselves that our time is limited, we are spurred to live more fully, to cherish our loved ones, to pursue our goals, and to live in accordance with our values. values. It is a practice that strips away the trivial, leaving only what is essential. The strategy. As you prepare for sleep, take a moment to reflect on your mortality. Imagine that tonight could be your last. How does this perspective change your priorities? What would you do differently? How would you treat those around you? Use this meditation to realign your actions with your true values. Scenario. Perhaps today you were caught up in trivial matters or petty disagreements. Reflecting on mortality helps you see these distractions for what they are, insignificant in the grand scheme of life. It reminds you to focus on what truly matters, to live each day as if it were your last. Further insight. The Stoics believed that by keeping death in mind, we free ourselves from the fear of it. This practice is not morbid, but liberating. It allows us to embrace life with urgency and purpose, knowing that every moment is a gift. It also teaches us to let go of grudges, to forgive, and to focus on the good. Quote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Seneca. Let us not waste our time on trivialities. By meditating on our mortality, we are reminded to live fully, to love deeply, and to act with purpose. 5. Engage in philosophical study. The evening is also a time for deepening your understanding of Stoic philosophy through study, known as Philosophīkē Meletē. This practice involves reading, reflecting on, and internalizing the teachings of the Stoic philosophers. It is a way to nourish your mind and spirit, preparing you for the challenges of the next day. Illustration. Picture a Stoic with a scroll in hand, reading by the light of an oil lamp. His mind is fully engaged with the words of the philosophers who came before him. Each sentence is a spark, igniting new ideas, new perspectives, and new ways of living. The wisdom of the ages flows into him, shaping his thoughts and actions. The purpose. Philosophical study is the cornerstone of Stoic practice. It provides the intellectual foundation for the virtues we seek to embody. By studying the works of the Stoics, we gain insight into the principles that guide our lives. This study is not an academic exercise, but a practical one. It equips us with the tools we need to navigate the complexities of life with wisdom and grace. The strategy. Dedicate a portion of your evening to reading Stoic texts. Choose a passage from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, Seneca's Letters, or Epictetus's Discourses. As you read, reflect on the meaning of the words and how they apply to your life. Consider how the teachings can be implemented in your daily actions and decisions. Scenario. Imagine you are struggling with a difficult decision. By turning to the Stoic texts, you find guidance in the wisdom of the philosophers. Perhaps Marcus Aurelius's reminder to focus on what is within your control helps you see the situation more clearly. The words of the Stoics become a beacon, illuminating the path forward. Further insight. Philosophical study is not just about understanding the principles of Stoicism. It's about living them. Each night, as you engage with the texts, you are not just learning, but transforming. The wisdom you gain becomes a part of you, shaping your thoughts, your actions, and your character. It is through this study that you become the Stoic sage you aspire to be. Quote, "Philosophy does not promise to secure anything external for man. Otherwise, it would be admitting something that lies beyond its proper subject matter. For as the material of the carpenter is wood, and that of the statuary bronze, so the subject matter of the art of living is each man's own life." Epictetus. Let philosophy be the guide to your life, not as a theoretical exercise, but as a practical tool for living with wisdom and virtue. 6. Practice stillness. As the night deepens, the Stoic practice of stillness, or hesychia, comes into play. This is a time for silence, for calming the mind, and for finding inner peace. It is a practice that allows you to disconnect from the noise of the world and connect with your true self. Illustration. Imagine a Stoic sitting in complete stillness, his eyes closed, his breath steady. The world outside fades away, and all that remains is the quiet within. In this stillness, he finds clarity, peace, and a deep connection to his inner self. The mind, once turbulent, is now as calm as a still lake. The purpose. Stillness is the foundation of Stoic serenity. It is in these moments of quiet that we can truly connect with ourselves, free from distractions and external pressures. This practice helps us cultivate a state of inner peace that is unshaken by the chaos of the external world. It is a time for grounding, for centering ourselves, and for finding the calm within the storm. The strategy: as you prepare for sleep, take a few moments to practice stillness. Find a quiet place, sit or lie down comfortably, and close your eyes. Focus on your breath, letting each inhale and exhale guide you into a deeper state of relaxation. Allow your thoughts to settle like leaves gently falling to the ground. In this stillness, you find the space to reconnect with your true self. Scenario: perhaps your mind is racing with the events of the day, or you're feeling anxious about what tomorrow may bring. By practicing stillness, you can quiet the noise and find a sense of peace. This practice helps you release the tension and stress, allowing you to drift into a restful sleep. Further insight: in a world that is constantly in motion, stillness is a rare and precious gift. It is in these moments of quiet that we can truly hear the voice of wisdom within us. Stillness is not just the absence of noise. It is the presence of clarity, focus, and inner peace. By practicing stillness each night, you cultivate a state of mind that is calm, centered, and ready to face whatever challenges may come. Quote, "Be still and know that I am within you. In the silence, there is clarity, and in the stillness, there is peace." Inspired by the teachings of Epictetus, in the quiet of the night, find your stillness, and let it be the foundation of your serenity. 7. Set intentions for the next day. Finally, as the day comes to an end, the Stoic practice of setting intentions, or protheses, helps you prepare for tomorrow. This is a time to reflect on your goals, to reaffirm your commitment to the Stoic virtues, and to set a clear path for the day ahead. Illustration: picture a Stoic writing by candlelight, setting down his intentions for the next day. He does not plan in detail, for he knows that life is unpredictable, but he sets his mind on what is within his control. He resolves to act with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, no matter what challenges may arise. The purpose: setting intentions is about aligning your actions with your values. It is a way to prepare your mind for the day ahead, ensuring that you approach it with purpose and clarity. By setting intentions, you create a roadmap for your actions, one that is guided by the Stoic virtues and principles. The strategy: before you sleep, take a moment to set your intentions for the next day. What virtues do you want to embody? What challenges do you anticipate, and how will you respond to them? By setting clear intentions, you prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for whatever the day may bring. Scenario: perhaps you know that tomorrow will be a challenging day with difficult conversations or demanding tasks. By setting your intentions tonight, you approach these challenges with a clear mind and a firm resolve. You are not caught off guard, but are ready to face the day with the strength of a Stoic. Further insight: setting intentions is not about rigid planning. It's about mental preparation. It is a practice that helps you stay grounded in your values, no matter what happens. By setting intentions, you ensure that your actions are guided by wisdom rather than by impulse or emotion. This practice helps you stay true to your Stoic principles even in the face of adversity. Quote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Marcus Aurelius. As you set your intentions for the next day, remember that each day is a gift, an opportunity to live in accordance with your values and to grow in wisdom and virtue. Conclusion: as you incorporate these 7 Stoic practices into your nightly routine, you will find that your days become more focused, your mind more resilient, and your spirit more at peace. These practices are not just for the night, but for life. They are the tools that will help you live with greater purpose, wisdom, and serenity. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Let your nights be filled with thoughts of wisdom, and your days will be filled with the happiness that comes from living in accordance with your true self.